If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs. Gonna start off with a rogue tier, but this is the part that demon hunters can pick up. Blood Tan Pauldrons, Hellfire Citadel Mythic, Dia Dark Whisper, 15% on the drop rate for those shoulders. Now we're going to move on to the chest and bring you up to Legion. Stormheim is the place. It's a quest reward, Assault and Battery. It used to be an old Howard Jones song. Anybody know Howard Jones? No, probably not. Runes Worn Chest Guard is the piece for the chest. The belt, perfect name for a demon hunter belt. Flayed Demon Skin Belt, Hellfire Citadel, various mobs, or you could just buy it on the auction house. How about that? Next up, the legs, which are the Ice Pine Breeches. Pick them up at a High Mountain Greystone Shard Finders, drop it, or you can buy it on the auction house. 16% on the drop rate for the legs. Now we're going to show you the feet. Toxicologist Treated Boots, Hellfire Citadel Mythic, Killrock Deadeye, 14% on the drop rate for the feet. Now we're going to go on to the bracers. Keep in mind these are bracers, not gloves. Gorebound Wrist Guards, Hellfire Citadel Mythic, Siege Master Marduk, 5% on the drop rate for the bracers. Moving on to the next piece, which happens to be the back. This is Alliance only, Wakecrest Guards Cloak. You can look that up in Wowhead. There are lookalikes, so Horde, don't dismay. The headpiece, Hellfire Citadel Mythic, Dia Dark Whisper, part of that same tier set for rogues, but this is the pieces that demon hunters can wear, and a weapon, Hellfire Citadel Mythic, Mindbender. Now I'm going to make a note here that these shoulders and a few other pieces can be picked up in Dazzlehar Borealis from the Venture Company Salvage Dude for 50 Seafarers Doubloons. So that would mean that you could buy the belt, the gloves, the boots, and the headpiece from that particular source. The chest is a little bit different. You're going to have to head into Anchorage or buy it on the auction house. The belt, like I said, Dazzlehar or Borealis, the Venture Company Salvage Dude. Or you could buy it on the auction house. As we progress in BFA, these pieces are going to be cheaper and cheaper, but this is the only way you're probably going to get the majority of these monk tier pieces for your demon hunter. The legs, part of the same vanilla drop set, Peerless Leggings, Anchorage, various mobs, or you can buy it on the auction house. Now we have a dude showing the feet. This is a dude blood elf, by the way, in case you're not exactly sure. Venture Company Salvage, dude, once again, 50 Seafarers Doubloons. You get those Doubloons, Doublons. You get them from Dewing Isles, basically, I do believe. So you probably have 50. You probably have enough to buy the whole set right here. And that's not exactly a bad move. The back is from Sethic Halls, which is BC. Talon King Icus, 17% on the drop rate. Always worth going there to get the mount. The headpiece, Helm of Tranquil Path. Once again, we've covered this already. And the weapon, I love this weapon, Mindbender's Flame Bend. This is the heroic version, Dia Dark Whisper. Gonna point out, I made a mistake on the weapon. It's obviously not a staff. It's the Mindbender's Flame Blade from Hellfire Citadel, the mythic version. So it's the same exact sword, one-handed sword from the first set that you saw. So that's going to cover that. The chest piece, Miststalker's Jerkin, Isle Expeditions, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. Those pieces get cheaper and cheaper as we progress into BFA. Matter of fact, if it's not even BFA anymore, those would be really cheap. Belt is simple, Illidari belt. You get this when you roll a Demon Hunter. If you don't happen to have it, you can buy it for copper from the Demon Hunter Quartermaster in your order hall. The legs, Miststalker pants, Isle Expeditions, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. Either way, you'll pick it up one way or another, I'm sure. Moving on to the next pieces, the feet, Oppressor's Merciless Treads. These are Hellfire Citadel pieces, or boots that drop from the heroic version. The hands, Cruel Gladiator's Fellskin Gloves, part of the same tier set as the shoulders, so it's either Cruel Gladiator or Ferocious Gladiator. Either or, you have to buy the whole set. The back is really cool from Battle of Dazzlehar, 5% on the drop rate for that. The tabard, Angler's Tabard, Cressering Wilds, which of course is Mop, and Angler's Quartermaster to pick that up. The headpiece, Headdress of Living Brambles, the Burning Throne, LFR, various mobs, kind of a fair drop rate. And the final piece is the weapon. We already covered this, so Mythic version Hellfire Citadel. Here's a little bit of a Christmas look, but I like it for Demon Hunters. It kind of works. Fellflame Inferno shoulder pads from the Burning Throne Mythic. Hulking Demolishers drop it at about a 5% drop rate for the green Christmas balls. Moving on to the chest. Feral Harness, Black Fathom Deeps. You could basically farm it there or just buy it on the auction house. Probably the best way to go. As you can see, the cloak, we'll get to that in a minute or so. Moving on to the belt, which is the Girdle of Night and Day. Throne of Thunder LFR version drops from Zwen or Lulin. 20% on the drop rate, so I think it's 20% each, so that's pretty cool. Moving on to the legs, Feral Leggings, Wailing Caverns, various mobs there, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. Probably the best way to go for the legs. Now we're going to move on to the feet, Feral Shoes, Wailing Caverns once again, various mobs, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. Probably the best way to go. Moving on, we're going to show you the bracers next, which are Jacera's Fungus Line Bands. This is a quest reward for Alliance only, Blood Missile. Super easy to get if you're Alliance, not so easy if you're Horde. Moving on to the back, Crimson Paragon's cover, Sunwell Plateau, Grand Warlock, Alethis is the boss, and the headpiece is Operation Mechagon, King Mechagon, kind of a low drop rate for that, but it looks really cool. And the weapon, love this weapon, Blazing Demon Hilt Sword. Gonna start off with the shoulders, which are kind of like a yellowish beige balls. Fellflame Infernal shoulder pads, Burning Throne Hulking Demolisher, 5% on the drop rate for the shoulders. Now we're going to spin you all the way to vanilla, this is a drop set. It's called the Chieftain's Breastplate, Winter Spring. Quetzal is a rare you could farm it off of, or you could buy it on the auction house. So here we go. This is kind of a mix of vanilla and Legion and a little bit of WoD. So it's got a little bit of everything. Dread Gladiator's leather belt, BFA, PvP vendor. This is Alliance only, Marks of Honor. You probably have to buy the whole set. I don't even know if you can buy those sets yet, so you're going to have to wait. But eventually, they'll be for sale. The Chieftain's Leggings, Burning Steps, various mobs, or you can buy it on the auction house. So the chest, the bracers, and the legs are all part of a vanilla drop set, the Chieftain set. So the feet are Oppressor's Merciless Treads, Hellfire Citadel. The wrist, Chieftain's Bracers, Badlands, Needlefang. He's rare, or you can buy it on the auction house. It could be a she, not really sure. Next up, we're going to stick with the Blood Elf, who's going to show us the back, as you can perfectly see. Double layered Frostboar Cloak, Frostfire Ridge. That's a great zone, I think. So that's an easy drop. Warmongering Gladiator's Helm, WoD PvP vendor, 3 Marks of Honor to pick that up. And the weapon is straight out of the new raid, Heroic. So here we go with an interesting looking set. I don't know, for some reason this reminds me of Alien. Shoulders of the Rolling Inferno, Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, Sun 10 to Heart, 15% on the drop rate for the shoulders. The chest piece is the Sand Scout Tunic, drops from Isle Expeditions, or you could just step up, purchase it on the auction house doing a spin. We'll get to the cloak in a minute or so. And yes, I'm overusing that weapon because I absolutely love it for Demon Hunters. Court of Black Dream, Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, Garrosh Hellscream, 20% on the drop rate. Moving on to the next piece, which happens to be the legs, part of the same drop set from BFA. The Sand Scout Creaches. Yeah, that's right, Creaches. A new word for legs. Isle Expeditions. Pretty easy to pick up. You can just buy it on the auction house. The Boots of Broken Reliance, Siege of Orgrimmar, regular version, Amalgam of Corruption. Next up, the Hands, Room, Sworn Grips, Stormheim, its quest, Reward, Assault, and Battery is the name of the quest. Moving on to the back. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Kursus, Indecision. See, I was indecisive about pronouncing it. That drops from a Wrath of the Lich King. Trial of the Champion, the headpiece, part of the same tier set as the shoulders and the belt. Moving on to the tabard, Tabard of the Achiever. Get 25 tabards, you get this particular tabard. That's the way it works. Next up is the weapon. the Blazing Demon Hilt Sword, which is Hellfire Citadel Regula Dia Dark Whisper drops. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. My name is Luxeley. Leave you with these final words. Whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, do your best to make it epic.